us today. I'm Mary Robertson, Director of the Indiana Cancer Consortium. We're excited to have three of our wonderful organizations here today to share some of their services that are available, especially during these trying times. So I'll go ahead and quickly introduce them. So our first speaker is going to be Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway graduated from Indiana University School of Public Health and Environmental Affairs with an undergraduate degree in criminal justice and a Master of Public Affairs degree. In 2002, Anne received a certificate in fundraising management from the IU School of Philanthropy. For 20 years, Anne was employed with the Juvenile Probation Officer with the Allen County Superior Court, and the majority of that time she spent as an intake supervisor. She's transitioned into the nonprofit sector and held positions as Joint Development Director for Vincent Village, Inc. and Matthew 25 Health and Dental. She was also the Northern Indiana Director of the Alzheimer's Association. And in her current position with Cancer Services of Northeast Indiana, she's the Director of Program Education. So the primary focus of this position in the agencies is the Survivorship Academy, and Anne is a 19-year cancer survivor. Throughout the years, Anne has been an active on several community boards and schools, and for 5 years, she was an adjunct instructor at Purdue Fort Wayne. She's currently a member of the Community Advisory at Purdue University Fort Wayne for the Department of Criminal Justice and Public Administration. And outside of her professional interests, Anne enjoys scuba diving, traveling, reading, bicycling, and spending time with her family. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Anne.
Great. Well, welcome everyone. We're excited to be able to share what services that we've been able to offer at Cancer Services, especially this year, but moving forward, what some of our plans are going to be as well. The next slide. Our mission at Cancer Services is to enhance the quality of life of those affected by cancer by providing meaningful resources, information, and compassionate assistance. Next slide, that'll be great. We were founded, actually, we celebrated last year our 75th anniversary. We were founded in 1944 as the Allen County Cancer Society. In 2006, we expanded that to include 10 more counties, and you can see those surrounding counties. So we currently serve 11 counties. In 2019, we served 4,136 individuals. Next slide. Funding for Cancer Services, we receive no government support. We're 100% supported by charitable donations, those being through individuals and foundations. Our special events, we do 3 a year. In February of each year, we do a comedy night. And in May of each year, we do a ribbon walk, which is a walk, obviously, and it also combines our Survivors Day. And then in September of every year, we do a tribute dinner. This is a more formal event. We usually have a national speaker that comes to this event. And we also allow people to do individual tributes to cancer survivors. In 2020, all of these events were virtual, with the exception of the comedy night. We were able to do that one before pre-COVID, but this year, in 2021, it will be virtual. I would like to say that we made the same fundraising goals as we did in previous years. We didn't, but with that being said, we did well. So I think we're happy with how those events turned out. Next slide. We offer many programs and services to our clients. They benefit from support. We have 6 client advocates on staff. They're all social work trained. We also have 2 licensed counselors which provide individual therapy. All of our advocates specialize in one area or another. We have one advocate that's has a degree in sexual health education. We have 2 advocates that participate in our children's programs. And we also have advocates that are trained in employee law. So we even though the advocates see a wide variety of clients, if a client has a specific need, we're able to direct them to the advocate that can best serve them. We also offer many practical services, and our warehouse is full of durable medical goods. Um, we don't have any financial criteria to access those medical goods. We allow that, just to be to the individual's discretion. Again, as I mentioned, we offer counseling. We offer a huge support community. And part of my position as the educational director is the Survivorship Academy. Through the Survivorship Academy, we offer many classes weekly, Tai Chi, meditation, yoga. We also offer a restorative yoga. All of these are taught by oncology trained yoga instructors. We also offer a class called Melt, which utilizes tiny balls to help people with neuropathy. And that's become quite popular. None of these classes is there a charge connected with. People can come as they're able, and like I said, it is at no charge. We also offer many comprehensive programs such as book series, mindfulness classes, and educational programs. In an ideal world, prior to COVID, we did one educational program a month, and that allowed us to bring in local, national speakers, and on many different topics. We also have been able, to provide nutrition programs. Part of my supervision is our registered dietitian. She does classes twice a month at the facility, and then throughout the surrounding counties once a month. So our outreach is there. And that's been an exciting part, to be able to provide those services to the outlying counties. She also does individual consults, and again, these are at no charge. Next slide. As I mentioned, we do the durable medical goods, which includes anything from hospital beds to wheelchairs to walkers to toilet seats. You name it, we have it. The positive thing is many people just need to utilize this equipment during cancer treatment. In many of our local hospital settings, the trip from the car to the treatment center is quite lengthy. So having some of these goods certainly helps the caregiver as well as the person with the diagnosis. In the hospital beds, oftentimes people's homes are not set up to return after surgery. They may not be able to access stairs and that kind of thing. So many of these are temporary. They're returned to us, and of course, sanitized and clean. Nutritional drink, if a person qualifies for financial assistance, and that's anyone under 200% of the federal poverty guidelines, they can receive free nutritional drink. If not, we request a donation, and that donation literally does not even cover our cost of the nutritional drinks, but it is an ongoing need and an expensive need for many families. We also offer transportation to and from treatment. And as I mentioned, the financial assistance is 200% of the federal poverty guideline. Next slide. We have a huge resource library, and it's a lending library. And I'm proud to say through the years it's an updated library. When I first came on board, we had many books that were decades old, and anybody that's involved with cancer treatment knows that that changes all the time. And so we can also order a book for a particular client, if it's a book that they know that they would like, or on a topic that maybe we don't have. We also provide once a month a legal consultation for our clients. We're located next to Brotherhood Mutual Insurance Company in Fort Wayne, and 3 of their attorneys are also members of a legal Christian legal clinic here in town. And they provide services for us Monday evenings once a month, and we allow our clients to sign up for those. And some of the things that people are very interested in meeting with an attorney about are certainly power of attorney wills, legal problems regarding their employment, Social Security, and we also offer financial consultations as well. We have several local financial advisors that will meet one-on-one and no charge to our clients. I think that's it. I mentioned the others. So next slide. Our wig room. This is an exciting thing that we can offer. We allow, regardless of income, our clients to pick out 2 wigs. They can change those if they get them home and decide that this isn't for them. They're also able to style them to maybe better fit their needs. We do have a retired beautician who will style and cut hair for our clients at no charge. And again, we offer the hats and the scarves as well. I always mention this. I'm not sure we have too many gentlemen that take advantage of it, but we do offer toupees as well. Next slide. This is in another exciting wig room. We had a client named Chelsea several years back. She was a young breast cancer survivor. Unfortunately, her cancer was of a very serious nature, and she passed away. When she passed away, her friends decided to do something in her honor. And one of the things that they mentioned is that she mentioned that when she was looking at wigs, there weren't a lot of fun wigs, different colored ones or younger styles. So this room is dedicated to people that maybe like purple, pink, blue wigs, our younger clients. But truthfully, we have people in their 80s that have chosen out of this room as well. So it's just a fun a place for people to go. Next slide. This is just a picture of our warehouse. Just kind of gives you an idea of some of the goods that we have available. We also provide different bandages, anything that you might be able to think. I just want to talk a little bit about the bed pads. When I first came on board more than 7 years ago, it was interesting to me because I guess I just didn't realize that people still sewed like that. We have hundreds of people involved in sewing circles throughout the city that actually hand sew all of our bed pads, and they're disposable. But it's such a nice thing to offer our clients, other than the plastic ones that are available. Next slide. This is just a picture of our resource library. Next slide. Picture of our healing garden. This has been an exciting project that we started about 3 years ago. We had a garden, but it really was underutilized. And we have actually our Tai Chi instructor is also a master gardener, which helped. But he started a gardening club among our clients. So actually, many of our clients each year sign up. We have many volunteers that do the weeding and the planting and other needs, that the watering on a daily basis for this garden. So it's really been exciting to have that as an option, not only for people that want to do things or give back, but it really is something that's beautiful for the agency to have. There's benches all around, so clients can go out there and sit, staff can go out there and sit at lunchtime or whatever. So it's been a wonderful thing to see develop. Next slide. Talk just a little bit about COVID. Obviously, we were in the same position many nonprofits were, of not knowing what was going to happen. We actually decided on March 18th to close our agency. And when I say close our agency, that was just for traffic coming in and out. Staff still worked. We had an administrative person, one of us each day in the building. Our warehouse person each day was in the building. We also had 2 client advocates each day in the building. So we were able to do registrations, continue with registrations. If people needed access to a wig, we were able to do that. So those kinds of things were able to continue. One of the things in the fall that we found, or I'm sorry, in the spring, we weren't real as prepared for the classes. So we had a lot of our instructors tape their classes like Tai Chi or yoga, and people could access those through our website. We continue to do counseling and support through the phone and through Zoom. We were able to still have volunteer drivers, but obviously the safety protocols with that were very different. We continued in that vein until the end of May. And in June, we opened back the agency. And right after the Monday after July 4th, we actually started opening again to in-person services such as the classes and the educational programs and the nutrition programs. We continued with those through just last week. And it went well. Obviously, everyone had to wear masks. We were limited on numbers because of the need to social distance. So our class sizes were smaller, our programs were smaller. And it worked well. We learned many things from that. And I think we will continue to implement some of those things that we learned, such as registrations, ways to capture those a little bit better. In the agency itself, as staff, we did temperature checks every day among ourselves, as well as anyone that entered the building. We were also required to wear masks in any part of the building that wasn't in our own individual offices. And I'm happy to say things went very, very well. We had no issues, but made the decision at the beginning of last week to close down at least through December and possibly through the 3rd week of January, just because of the rise in cases and sort of the adage of, maybe we should just kind of quit while we're ahead and not push our luck here. Primarily, obviously, because of the population that we serve. We are continuing to do classes. We are doing classes at the same time that we would do them here physically in the agency, and those are all being done virtual. And I think just because of people learning, we have a lot of people that log into those classes, and so that's exciting to see. We continue with a book series that we have had ongoing, where our retired clinical director chooses a book for 12 weeks, and that's continued all throughout this year. Also, our mindfulness classes have also continued. Another project that we're really excited about is we worked with a researcher out of Colorado to do a photographs of meaning project, and this was especially designed for our young survivors, anyone under the age of 39, because it became really apparent to us that there was a need there, and there was a lack of programs, and trying to design it a project that would fit their needs as well, and time frames and that kind of thing. I think that might be it for the slides. Yep, just contact information. Again, we're operating as usual as far as people being able to access equipment, to access wigs. It's just a little different in how they do that. Certainly by appointment. We all have home offices where we are able to access our phone calls through our computer. So really, in terms of our client base, nothing has really changed for them except the in-person programs. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much, Anne. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to come off mute or add something in the chat box, and we should have some time at the end as well. But pause for a few seconds.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, my name's Renee. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's great to hear about the variety of services you have available. I was just wondering, in terms of the exercising patients and kind of virtual classes, what you found useful in terms of virtual monitoring, specifically with some of those patients where you might want to know what's happening with their heart rate, specifically anyone who's a bit unstable, or what you use, if you use Fitbits or pulse oximeters, or what works best.
As far as the types of classes, or I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, specifically anything that involves some physical activity.
Right.
Because we have a couple of patients in our cancer service where we would do some cancer rehabilitation with them, do some rehabilitation classes.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if that's something that falls in your remit. And usually when you're seeing someone face to face, you're more confident in terms of how they're responding to exercise, and exercising them at like a higher Borg-Dersham score. But how you kind of negotiate that in the remote setting?
And then, that's a good question. I think because I feel very comfortable because our class size is so small, and all of our instructors are trained to work with, as I mentioned earlier, oncology patients. Our Tai Chi instructor is actually trained as a Tai Chi instructor for health, which has several different certifications with different types of individual needs. So, I don't feel it would be the same as somebody attending a class in person. We have people that attend classes in wheelchairs, walkers. It's basically just tailored to the individual need. No one would feel, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed, or I can't do this. It's definitely if this makes sense, it's definitely a group individualized kind of class.
Thank you so much for that question, Renee. Do we have any others from other folks? All right, so while we go ahead and stop sharing this screen, and we'll let Eric get a chance to pull his up, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker. So our next speaker is Eric Richards with Cancer Support Community. For more than 20 years, Eric has worked within the nonprofit management and fundraising field in and around Indianapolis, And for more than a decade, he has invested time in cancer-related programming, fundraising, marketing, and strategic planning. His current responsibilities as president and CEO of Cancer Support Community Central Indiana are to lead all initiatives of the organization, further brand awareness and oversee fundraising activities, and work with the staff and board of trustees to grow the footprint of the organization in the Central Indiana community. He's passionate about helping those with cancer and their families, and he received his Master's of Philanthropic Studies from Indiana University in 2005 and his Bachelor's from Franklin College in 1999. Eric and his wife, Kristen, have 3 children, Jack, Charlie, and Violet, and currently reside in Zionsville. And with that, I will hand it to Eric.
Thank you, Mary. Ann, great to finally meet you. I've known about you and cancer services for a long time. I used to be at Little Red Door Cancer Agency. And
Oh yeah,
I know you have a relationship, so it was great to hear from you and all the work that you're doing. And
thank you.
Melanie and I share some things in common as well, as we're sister organizations as part of a greater umbrella organization. So I'll try not to steal Melanie's thunder here. It's going to be really difficult because we do a lot of the same things, and a lot of the same things as cancer services too. So there'll be some familiar conversation here as I go on. But Cancer Support Community and our affiliate, formerly known as the Wellness Community, up till about 12 years ago, when the Wellness Community merged with Gilda's clubs to create Cancer Support Community, and then Gilda's clubs are still around too in some communities, depending on which community you're talking about. Evansville, obviously, is called Gilda's Club. I'll again let Melanie talk about that, but just 25 years old this year. What a year to celebrate 25 years. We did have a lot of plans that are going to be delayed until 21 or 22 now, but 25 years of providing free support services to cancer patients and their families. This is the building that I'm sitting in now on the northwest side of Indianapolis, but our service territory runs from Kokomo to Terre Haute to Richmond. And thanks to an expansion, a satellite office in 21, we're going to be in the South Central region as well, thanks to a partnership with the Bloomington Health Foundation and IU Hospital Bloomington. It has not been publicly announced yet, but I thought it was important to mention that we're providing virtual services to those communities today. And then at some point, we'll have a bricks and mortar that looks similar to our building here that I have on the screen in that region as well. So it's a fairly large swath of the state of Indiana. And again, I mentioned if everything that we offer is free, and much like Ann, our funding, we're able to operate thanks to funding through private sources such as individuals, grants, foundations, corporations, and some contract work that we have with 12 hospitals in and around central Indiana, everywhere from Lafayette, Kokomo, Anderson, to downtown Indy, over to Danville and Eskenazi in downtown Indianapolis. So we have sort of 13 offices, if you will, and offering programs and services in 13 different locations, as well as now virtual. And all of our programs and services are really bound around the 5 pillars of what we call what we offer. First being psychosocial programming support, so support groups, individual counseling, art therapy, all virtual now, of course, again, free. It fights isolation, it lowers depression, enhances quality of life, a chance to learn from one another, and giving and receiving support. And what we always talk about is the reason the community is in our name is we provide a venue for people experiencing the same trials and tribulations to be together. And it's been difficult to create that same sort of sense of community when people are on a computer screen. However, I will say that what it has done and what we have learned is we're able to serve more people, and any sort of geographical limitation, transportation limitation is sort of off the table now, because people can tune in from the comfort of their living room. So there have been some silver linings. The numbers of people that we're serving is higher. As an example, Cooking for Wellness is one of our most popular programs that we offer. And instead of 20 or 30 people being here at the office at a designated time, now people can watch the comfort of their home, because we're taping everything and they'll access it through our YouTube channel or Facebook page. So that's made it really great in a lot of ways of being able to serve more people. So we're able to send that out after the fact, and people can view, at any point. So we have a really robust YouTube channel, and very, very active on social media during this time in particular. But even before. And in fact, one of the other things that we're planning and that we learned was we're never going to let go of the virtual program and offering. We're going to continue to offer virtual programs and services even when we're able to be safely together in person. So from that standpoint, that's great. Again, getting rid of barriers that may have existed prior before. Educational programs, another part of our another pillar, Cancer 101, Ask the Legal Expert, pain and symptom management, specific cancer programming, immunotherapy, all designed to empower people, impacted with information to help make appropriate decisions, ask questions, affect their health and status and family. Another is, I mentioned already, Cooking for Wellness, our wellness programming, gentle stretch yoga, Tai Chi, relaxation and visualization as examples of those types of programs that we offer. Social connections, again, all virtual. Crafters Corner, Art as Therapy, book club, movie club. This week we did a creative writing class as an example of something that's educational in nature. And then information assistance and referral. We know that we don't offer every single thing a cancer patient and his or her family may need. So one of our jobs is to make sure that we know who does, and so we can point those people in the right direction. So one of the initiatives that we've been working on over the last year and a half is getting all of our program staff trained to be lay navigators and take courses and take testing as well, so that we're able to meet the needs of everyone that walks through our door. And another additional program or service that we do offer, and this is something that we've started this year, is a patient assistance fund. And this fund is for qualified individuals at 300% of poverty and below, who are currently in active treatment. We're providing Kroger and Speedway gas station gift cards for those individuals. Needless to say, outside of COVID, even this is important. This is another thing that we'll continue to offer after the pandemic is over. So if anyone on this call knows anyone that needs assistance in this way, please send them our way. We would love to help them. There's an application process and verification process to this. But nonetheless, it's been something that's been extremely popular, and we'll continue to offer this after the pandemic is over. This is our, I can't really see the cover. This is our every other month publication that we call The Companion. It includes all of the programs and services that we offer. I can put you on a mailing list if you'd like to receive this on the regular. Or it's located on our website at cancersupportindy.org, where you can check it out electronically. I would be remiss to say that we're also the fiscal agent for the Indiana Cancer Consortium. So Mary and Gage are housed at Cancer Support Community, and we're very proud to be part of the ICC, and appreciate you all tuning in and for all your continued contributions to that organization. So I went very fast, but again, I don't want to steal any thunder from Melanie, but we're very honored to have a chance to speak with you today, and appreciate again your tuning in to learn more about what we do and survivorship, and we hope we can be a referral source. So if you have folks that we can serve, again with the virtual piece, even if, outside of the territory that I mentioned, if there are folks in Northwest Indiana, I think, as an example, or other locations, please let them know, or even out of state, we're able to serve really anyone from anywhere. They can visit our website, and all of our staff are listed there. Also give us a call, 317-257-1505. So that's it for my presentation, and I just want to say thanks again, Mary, for the opportunity.
Thanks, Eric. I just wanted to point out, I think all of our speakers today, the organizations are in different physical locations in Indiana, and all of you together stretch most of being able to cover and support our Hoosier community. But I think one of the beautiful things that has come out of COVID is, like Eric said, that reach that all of you can now extend further. So we're excited to share that message along, and with that, keep it going with our next presenter. So I'd like to introduce our next presenter, Melanie Atwood. Melanie is the Executive Director of Gilda's Club Evansville, and she has been with Gilda's Club since February of 2013 and helped bring the dream started by Ann and Randy Moore to reality when they officially opened their red door on February 6th of 2014. Melanie's experience in working for nonprofits as well as for-profit organizations has reinforced her belief that people don't care what you know until they know that you care. She is driven by the belief that we accomplish more by working together in collaboration than we ever do alone. Her philosophy has served the members of Gilda's Club as well as the organization that works to bring support, education, healthy lifestyles, social connections, and resources and referrals to anyone impacted by cancer, by working side by side with the medical professionals in our community so that no one faces cancer alone. So welcome, Melanie.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it so much. Can you see my screen?
We cannot right now.
Okay, what do I need to do to show you that? You need to...
So there should be a button on the bottom in the center of the screen that says share.
Okay.
You should be able to click on that. It should pop up in a box that shows your open, any open windows or things that you have open. You should be able to click on it and then click share.
Okay, so I can't, it's not showing up on mine. I know the Zoom, but this Teams thing I don't know as well. So I don't see it. It says show taskbar, display settings. I got a swap presenter view and slideshow. I tried clicking that and that doesn't seem to work very well.
If you want to go ahead and shoot over your presentation to myself, I could share it for you if you'd like.
That would be terrific. Do that and then get out of this. Okay, now hang on a minute. There we go. Sorry for that. I thought I'd be able to pull it up on Eric, and I've done stuff before. It just he's been able to pull up his screen.
No problem. Every day is a new challenge.
With adventure. Yeah. Let me share this with you. It is an attachment. Mary, here you go. Okay, on its way. Wonders of technology. So while she's getting that, and it's coming up on her email, we'll see how fast technology happens. Thanks for that introduction. Thanks for being a part of it. Ann and Eric. Ann, nice to meet you. Eric, we work together a lot, and so I knew I was coming after him today, so I thought I just shortened mine up because I'm like, there's no sense for you guys to hear that twice. We're sister organizations. Our missions are the same. We're just in different parts of the state to be able to deliver it. We're down here in southern Indiana and lots of rural down here. And so COVID has been an interesting year, as well as the election and everything else that's happened in 2020. That's why my team got me this wonderful little game, because I've been saying it's Jumanji all year. So we've got Jumanji is happening. We hit level 12 this month. So I'm going to encourage you, like I encouraged my family and my team here, that on December 31st, go out in your backyard and all of us yell Jumanji really, really loud 3 times, and we'll be done with this year. We'll move on to 21, and it'll be a new year. With the vaccines coming, everyone is hungry for connection. And so thank you. There you go. And so we are part of Cancer Support Community. We are one of the Gilda's clubs. and we were named after Gilda Radner. And she had a lot of wonderful sayings, and this is just one of them that we love. When we have the gift of life, it seems to me the only tragedy is to allow part of us to die, whether it's our spirit, our creativity, or our glorious uniqueness. And boy, has that not been important and more used this year than any other year. Next. And so what is Gilda's Club? We're a nonprofit organization. We're part of CSC. We serve men, women, kids, any age, any stage of cancer, as well as their family and friends. Next. Did you know, this will tie into Eric, that we're one of those affiliates from Cancer Support Community. We're the largest nonprofit provider of social and emotional support for people with all types of cancer. Our model is endorsed by National Institute of Health and the NCI. That's our little front door there, red door there. So I pivoted a little bit because I knew that you guys would be talking about the support and the yoga and the Tai Chi and all that support groups, of which we do as well. I took a little bit of a different angle. I hope that's okay. COVID hit March 17th. We closed our red doors, like Ann had said earlier, to keep our Gilda's family safe. It was amazing, and I think it's kudos to the nonprofit community of how quickly we all pivoted, because it speaks to the passion and the tie that we have of what fuel us as people here serving are the people we serve. And getting as quickly as we could to get them support and connection drove all of us to make those switches. And so we switched to the Zoom and the Facebook and phone calls. I cannot even count the number of phone calls. Note cards, personal handwritten note cards. We call them sunshine baskets. Deliveries, and I'll show you pictures of those in a second. But delivered to porches all across the tri-state, delivered safely. And we'd ring the doorbell and step back, and the connection that we could have with our, our mask on and whatever, people, and I'm sure it was like this, Eric, for you and Aunt, they crave that. And the longer the year went on, the more we saw that those first were 5 or 10 minute little stops became 30 to 45 minute stops, because now we know they're updating us and they are so desperate for that. We closed everything. Staff stayed here. I made it 2 hours at home, and that didn't work, so I came back in. And so our facilities here are spread out. Our offices are spread out quite a bit, so we were able to socially distance. Everybody else did the same thing, so we're in our little Gilda's family bubble, and we've been here for the duration, this whole thing. We did not open back up to one-on-ones until August, and we've done some creative things to get connections beyond that, besides the Zoom, because I don't know about you, but I'm Zoomed out, and it's important. We have to do it, but we get kind of real creative, and we've got, I won't show you all my props, but we got some props that we use to keep it fun. But people need that connection more than anything, and hearing the laughter and sometimes the little crazy spontaneous stuff is what drives people. So next slide. We have June, the first Sunday in June is National Cancer Survivors Day, and we have a big celebration every year for that, and it's pull out all stops. This year was obviously different, so we're like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make sure that they know they're important? We don't want this milestone to pass. So we created the virtual event. We had Rock Your Ribbon. So throughout the whole month of June, we had all kinds of promotions and flyers, and we would take what you see here with this lady, that would be replaced with their picture of all the survivors and their particular, their first name only, but their particular kind of cancer and the length of the time that they've been a survivor. On the first Sunday in June, we had a drive-by. So I'm going to let you go to the next slide, Mary. And this is out in front, and yes, the grass looks awful. Out in front, and we took like the top 30 kinds of cancers, and we labeled them, and we put them out in front of our facility. And you can't see it very well, but that, like at the breast cancer, the pink ribbon up front, you see all those little bitty purple things, those were all the people's of our survivors, so their name was on that. And so we encouraged people to stay inside their cars. But as you can see, there's a big driveway. So when you pull off the main street, that road that's on the left is a main thoroughfare. You could literally drive a circle. And we called it our parade, our Survivor Parade. So we had to do it in cars instead of in person. But oh my goodness, did we have fun. People decorated their cars. They came in, and next slide, Mary, I'll let you see somebody that's actually in their car. So there you go, is Maria and her mama, Thelma. And so holding it up, and some of the cars were super decorated. You can look to the side here and see another family that decided to get out, and she wanted to be up and take a picture with her and her kiddos beside the ribbon. And so one thing you saw in one of those other pictures, we had these, where's my rockets? Eric knows me and my rockets. I got these big rocket kind of launchers that are so fun, and they have confetti and ribbons, and we set those off all through when people were driving through. You can see people in this, I mean, we had them backed up. They were in the driveway and backed up down this main thoroughfare, but that's okay. Well, to end it off, the last person that came through, we did it for about an hour and a half, and it was steady all the way through. We set off one of those rockets, and it hit the transformer and blew it. So that was kind of, on our wall. It's always something. Luckily, they were able to get it repaired. But, I mean, these things go up major, up high in the sky. The joy and the laughter, and one lady, her family, they just kept driving back and forth, just driving around, just coming on back through, getting in the parade. Some of them sat in the back part of the parking lot where they could see everybody else, and they're tooting their horns. And this was in June, okay? So let's fast forward. Let's go to the next month. Let's go to July and August. People are like, we want to see each other. So we're like, okay, how do we do this musical chairs, and how do we do it safely? So we did a peeps in the parking lot. So we had people in their cars, all distance, and then they would trade. They'd drive around. And then finally they got, and they're like, hey, we're wearing masks. We're stepping outside. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is in August. But what we found was a couple of the families, they hadn't met each other yet, right? Because normally it's in the clubhouse where a lot of this bigger connection's happening. And they had 16-year-old daughters. And those 16-year-old daughters connected and were masked up and sitting in chairs outside. Thank goodness it was a beautiful day. And they are still connected to this day. And so it's of what that meant to them. So we did this a couple of times. One of the times we had breakfast, so we had tables set up, again, distanced, and had homemade croissants and all kinds of stuff out there for them to be able to be a part of something that, this is the way we kind of do business in the year of COVID. Next slide. In the month of November is Caregiver Month. So we had, these are yard signs that we had made, and we had them and put them out in about 80 of our caregivers' yards. This was a delivery that we did that we're grateful for you, and we had all kinds of little treats in there, some chocolates from one of our local chocolate people that donate to us, and we would go out in, again, ring their doorbell, stand out in the yard. I was out the other day doing another delivery, and they've still got that thing in the yard, and just last week. And so, as you all know, connecting people and letting them really understand that they matter. This isn't just a job for us. This matters to us. And the connections and letting people know they are not alone on this journey, regardless where they are. For them, if they're the one with a diagnosis, or their family, friends, or coworkers, we will connect you. If we don't have that program already, we will connect you within our community or beyond to get you the resources and that they need. They have enough on their plate with what they're dealing with now, and we love being able to bring those resources to people so they don't have to think about it. Some of the questions, they don't even know what they are yet. And so we're able to bring that as a lifeline of hope and support to people. Next slide. We just did this a couple of days ago. We had Merry Christmas from us, and we did 110 deliveries of these little treats and baskets of homemade cookies and Chex Mix and fruit and all kinds of stuff. And again, this was the ones that we were like on the porches for a half hour or 45 minutes. we were able, our board helped with these deliveries, our volunteers, other volunteers helped with deliveries, and to a fault, everyone called and said, oh, I want to do that again. Excuse me, that was amazing. And what it does is, it's more blessed to give than receive, right? When you do and you're a part of that, everybody is blessed and benefited from that. And the feedback that we've got from people that received these, one just got home from the hospital and said it couldn't have come at a better time. Another one got some not so good news. Another one says, I've missed you and my family so much. And so that's what we're about. It's all the other stuff, yes. But what we're about is that people feel connected to resources that are free. They don't have to add that financial toll on top of everything else they're dealing with people that care and that truly become part of our family. Next slide. Because at the end of the day, this is what we want to bring. These are our people. We've lost a couple of them to cancer. One is now a board member. All of them are part of this bigger family that continues to get bigger and bigger every day. It's a club, as Gilda Radner would say, it's a club no one wants to be in. But by golly, when you're in the club, it sure does help to be connected to other people that get it, that understand, and can be there with you at every part of this journey. That's Gilda's Club Evansville.
Thank you so much, Melanie. And thank you to all our presenters today. Does anyone have any questions as we begin to wrap up? Have a few minutes left. All right, well, if you have any afterwards, feel free to follow up with me and I'd be happy to pass that along to our presenters, as well with some follow-up information, shooting you guys all to their websites with all of the wonderful resources. So again, just want to thank all of our speakers today and sharing not only what you guys do, but thanking you guys for what you guys do. And I know all of our Hoosier community really appreciates it. So with that, I want to say thank you and everyone have a very happy holiday season. Thanks for joining.